Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well and keeping fine. So, just an update. Our project is nearly finished. We're nearly at the board, so at the edges of the end. I'll show you first. I'll do a demo so you can see what's the idea, because a lot of you ask me a lot of time in the chat what you're building. This is one of the projects that have been done. It's nice when you let things like the ideas until they're complete, then you can have a clear view of how things they are. So just bear with me and just make sure it's empty. So let's give it a demonstration. I'm just cleaning the workstation, so I don't have to disturb anyone. No coding at the moment because no needed. So, so this is the software. Usually, if you open it, it should give you a window prompt like this one. So now there's a lot of buttons. It's nice to have a lot of buttons, but it's good to have them with features, which is more better. You have tabs actually where you can control, but hopefully you're not gonna need to reach to use this, because I just like was struggling with the logic to make it more fitting, but there is like few issues with few languages and examples where you're gonna have to replace samples. That's much modification that you're gonna have to do. So let's do a test. I'm gonna take this one. This is a French, and I'm gonna take this one. And I'm gonna take this, take this. So I just choose 4 files, which is cool thing. So imagine you have a Siri and you would like actually to translate it. The cool thing that you don't need to add the language over here, it will detect itself. But since it's a Latin, which make it a bit hard in the first word to determine what language it is, so I always like pick up, make sure, like for example, if I'm doing a Japanese Siri, I'll pick up all Japanese languages. It doesn't need to be the same Siri, it could be like any, as long as they have the same language. Otherwise, you can still run this one, it would work fine, but just remember that few words, like the first words, they may not actually be picked correctly the language, but within the transcript, it will pick correctly the rest. So for example, those content that I picked, they were all French. I can do select all. It will actually generate all those languages over there, but we don't want to spend the day over here waiting. So since the content are French, we're gonna use English, Spanish, Italian, and German, and let's test Russian, which I know they are strong actually in usage. So I just gonna do one more thing to make sure sound all good. 20 to 40, just to be picking voices. It's like um, as lower as it is, as strict as it is, to identifying voices, and then hoverist, and then verify align, then auto run mix, just add the volume. And this is the cool feature. This one in the top, it's like when you have videos like the ones that I have right now, they're videos, therefore I need audios. So this one will create a back, if you read over here, separate the vocal from the background and you will have 2 files. So if you just read the instruction within each CLA tab, you will actually be able to see. So, and then you choose the type of export and you do auto export, so it skipped the save in dialog, so it doesn't stop the process until you click the button. But if If you want, you can actually choose even where to put them, but I would like to keep them at the moment in the project itself because I made it an architecture design of a project folder, which is actually more suitable actually than going around. So it doesn't matter the file, you just gonna create, let me see, projects. So it's just gonna create first, as the first start, it's gonna create the project based on the name of the video or audio, and then it's gonna drop inside other folders that you're gonna be using, like transcription, like translation, transcript, like voices, like segments, if you want to modify. So everything would be there, don't worry. Relating to that video, so even after this is finishing and there was like few mistakes, you will not actually have to, you can actually go inside, fix them yourself, and that's it. And export. And as for export, is more faster than even how they call it, sorry, it's actually more faster than Photoshop or Film Aura. Like it's on exporting, I have tested those, and the software is actually more advanced in that matter. Like a few seconds, a video of 20 minutes could be done. An hour could be done in 3 minutes. Like I was shocked actually to discover that. So, as you are seeing over here, we get this. It says to us we have, like, let's say 100 divided by 4, that's 25 each. So we are at the first 25 part, which is first part out of 4. If you read over here, we have a dialogue, a logs, like the terminal logs. Only over here you don't write. Over here it just states for you what states are happening. Like I used the add log in some points so I can get this effect while it's like working. Now we just gonna let it do its magic. It's gonna go through the process one by one, executing them until reaching to the final process. It's like a loop and inside multi-loop. Like you select multiple videos, and inside those videos you will select multiple language for those videos. In each of those languages, each of those files will go through the languages loop and loop itself, and then get in and then move it to the next one, emptying the emptying the GPU, and so on until finishing. I didn't want to make it like generate first all the translation and then move forward. It would not actually allow you to go and check at the back. Like right now we want to watch, so you want to, for example, you're gonna have a series of 8 episodes. You just drop them there, and once it's finished, you light it, you watch it. The second one is in translation, and it's so on, so on, so on until it's finished. By the time you finish the first, the second is ready. By the time you finish the second, the third is ready until you finish the whole series. If you want to watch series or movies, actually, or even videos, or even lectures, debates. So it can literally translate in words to voice. Now we got our first file, which gonna be English. So now we're gonna see the structure, how folders are being structured. Watch with me. So if you see over here, you get your project, which is the file name test. You get to export, and if you see, it already created export English. So in order for me to view this folder, I'm just gonna do reveal and file explorer. So we're gonna go to reveal right now. We're gonna open, and we got ourselves the English. Actually, it was English. So let's check first the original English on English.
We make one thing clear. I won't tolerate disrespect. Not from anyone. You think it's okay to play with my... Think again. You myself, and I'll only spend it on those who uplift me. Stick around. Loyalty goes both ways. If you're not in my corner.
Okay, English didn't work properly, as I said, like the same language. Because this content was actually English, not French. Really mistake. Anyway, we can still watch. Oh yeah. Sorry, I closed the. So, I should keep it detect. So. Like, this is what gonna happen if you don't like language correctly, or if you don't leave it detect. Like, for example, the content was in English and we have transcribed it, use transcriber and force it on French, which doesn't match, and at the end we pass it as English, which created the problem that we had it right now. And secondly, also make sure to increase speed. So let me just retry one more time. Not this one, I'll use this one French, this one French, and this one French. And I'm just gonna do them in English. Or let's do them English, Spanish, Italian. And threshold, I'll be pushing it to 15, 35. So you're just gonna have to play with the threshold over here to find the speakers. And it's in French. So now we're gonna have to add this one, and this one you don't need, just validate segment timestamp. Okay, even this one you don't need one. But here you're gonna need to put it at 25, 28. Okay, you're gonna need those two, and make sure that you toggle this overlap, put it actually at 1, and video, meaning overlap, it's like segments are not overlapping on each other, so I give them premises of 1 second to not force the frame to speed them too much. And that should be it. Oh yeah, and I'll put the temper to 70 or 65. And you're gonna need, if you have a video, make sure that you click this one, or it's gonna give you an error panel saying that the file doesn't match. At the meantime, I'm not gonna be waiting for that one, so we're gonna be watching the Spanish version of our video. But I have stopped it just because I realized that we're just gonna be wasting a bit of minutes. And the speed up.
Déjame aclarar una cosa. Por el caso. Y no toleraré la falta de respeto. No, de nadie. Si crees que está bien jugar con mis sentimientos, piensa de nuevo. No valoro demasiado como para quedarme en los juegos.
Now transcription is done. And we're just gonna wait for see, I do have another test earlier.
Donald activity. It's short. Don't have anything on the potato.
Yeah. When you get language like this, disturbing that, just two things. Either the key will not pass correctly, codes, or even the examples are not clean. So let us first check what samples they picked for this one. So if we go to speaker, library, we got 5. First one was
Not from anyone. If you think it
second.
play with my feelings, think again. I value myself too much to stick around for gain.
So the problem was in this rough. So it used the rough where it has a background, which it shouldn't be. So we're gonna fix that later on. Although it should not. Okay, I'm just gonna watch this one over here, and then I'm gonna let you guys because I'm gonna need to have a break. I've been working like for 24 hours just to let you know, non-sleep. And I'm literally tired actually. Like I had it to go through a lot of debugging. Like just to let you know, it's not the first test, it's not the second, it's not, maybe it's the 100 like in the last 24 hours. So still just few things that they're gonna be aligned, but as you can see there is some points where,
And that means it's short.
and the issue always is because of reference. Like I showed you right now, you see this reference over here, that's the problem. Right now if I go, for example, I copy this, let me show you an example. I copy this, I put it here, and then I remove this one, I'll rename it. Like now I still had the speaker, I would generate all of this, but you can still generate them separately if you wish to. On the now we got 2 out of 2, so one is already there, so we're just gonna go and check which one we have received. English of course is the first. Now we're gonna know if the quality is good or not.
I do a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot of hierarchy with dating, with the way of showing myself, the way in my life, what I did with that money back then. So I don't have a Balacan.
I didn't attract a second of Balacan. Everything I could have dreamed in my head, even things that I couldn't see myself like Dursic or CQT. I did it. It starts me. I arrive at a stadium. I am reaching an age. I arrive at a stadium. There's not much left that makes me dream. So we have to start looking behind. We need to get ahead of this now. It's not just once that we're going to push the door. And I mean,
threshold, but it's alright. We're gonna fix that later on. The more important that you have the base, you know what I mean? You have the process, you have everything set. So what's more or less is just like finding the right parameters, as they say, or the right numbers, configurations, and that's all. So we gonna see now what's gonna happen. Soccer, Spanish, Spanish. Let's see the Spanish version. It's gonna be like English, most likely.
Mucho, 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 mucha jerarquía, con citas, con la forma de mostrarme, la forma en que mi vida se chiffait avec cet argent à l'époque. Entonces, no tengo balacán.
No traje ni un segundo de Balacán. Todo lo que pude haber soñado en mi cabeza. Incluso las cosas que no podía verme haciendo. Como ver si o ese coté lo hice. Me empieza. Llego a un estadio. Llegando a una edad. Llego a un estadio. No queda.
Okay, so now it's gonna generate Italian. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep the TS loaded this time. And I'm gonna do just few modifications so you don't gonna have a little bit of delay. So next time it will be going like one after another, one after another, but in the same time stopping for just like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, exporting the video and then continuing. Like I always analyze tags depending and I break down the process to not load it. So if you notice that I have changed the entire structure of the project from the beginning till now, some of those files are just backups. And I can teach you another trick that you can keep almost like all you backup. So some of you, if you have your notes, copy and paste this or memorize it. Otherwise, you're not gonna find this command much often. It's like using PowerShell get for each item and then pass through. So get children, if you see over here, get children force recross, then slash filter dot py, which means all the files within this, and then we're gonna go file dash dot name, then count what's inside the folders. So if you see equal 80, and over here equal 80 multiply, and then the count of the file. So this command is really powerful. It's so powerful, like you see we're gonna run it in TSS. So we're gonna run it here. So we're gonna have a file over here which we will call backup. I know that VS Code has a history back point, but believe me, you would be more satisfied to make sure that you have at least some copy. You can get stuck, you're gonna need to restart it. There's a lot of things. Copying the entire project, it's just gonna load you. I find better to keep backup as file scripts, because you can access the file text. It doesn't matter how much is contained. It will never actually overload because it still read it as a string. So, and you can do a function, which I call it actually pi, or text to pi. But you can create a function, and I'll show you this right now. We're gonna rebuild the entire project. So, for example, I'm gonna build that one into a separate point because I need to move the file, which is test setup. Okay, copy that up and relevant export. So I'll just do for you a demonstration what you can do. For example, you can have your backup with this file over here, and if you want it, just let me know in a comment and I'll drop you both of them in a Google Drive share where you can actually access them and save your files. So text, let me see. Yeah, I saved backup. Sorry, back. Like I told you, a funny story happened to me last night. I accidentally clicked delete alt all and I had it to restart back all the project. Luckily the GUI I had it, but the entire logic of the functions and everything got messed up. So I had to go back through it, and that's one of the reasons what's made me stay 24-hour awake. So bear with me 1 second. I'm just gonna need to run a CMD over here, which gonna open for me the panel command. I'll open a PowerShell extra, and then I'm just gonna close this one. Now inside here, I'm just gonna navigate to this location. Sorry. Sometimes better to rename them because let's name it just a test so that we can know that it's just some finish. So we can do cd test. Cd test. So if we test dash This is sorry, my mistake. Wrong script. Actually, one should be page non-update 6. It is basics actually, sorry. Okay. Oh yeah, this one, sorry, my mistake, I clicked the wrong one. I called it PyText as referred like for Python text. I'm gonna keep that one there. No. I do PyText dot py, and sorry, you should do Python if you're running a Python codes. And at the end over here, we're just gonna add the file which is located in the same back up .txt. Now, once I'm gonna click, okay, that's a bad thing right now, but it's not actually a bad thing because it's the same file that we have, so we didn't do much. But let me just change the location before causing more harm. So it looked for those files over here. So if I wanted to save something, I would have to save it like this. So I'll look for this first, then replace with this, then replace it all. Now I should save this one, then close. Now if we rerun our py.txt and we close this one, now the file structure should be this one over here, where /p, sorry. At pytext.11. So let me just retake again for the backup canonic. So here. Now I'm this one from this side and change the direction. This is why we had it there, because I should also leave this place, because actually we have did it from the TSX, so the reason why it got the error because we didn't left the room for this file. Now we should be leaving enough space for all. So now if I do like this, I wouldn't get an error, and let me see. We can do it. Oh yeah, I can. Let's take something short because the structure is too big. So let's say I'm gonna be doing this file over here, and let me just rename so I can still have a backup time. Let me call it one, and let me remove it and paste it over here. Now go back to C. And bear with me 1 sec. I don't know why it keeps saying slash path is undefined. It says over here didn't give me even the Python 11, so let's see what is 11. 11 is this one over another Python. Oh, I think I know why is the space between this and this. Oh, okay, I see now. Calculation. 2.slash. patch are finished. Okay. No, it's still running, but we got few videos, so we can watch. Give me just one second, I'll close the windows. Get back to this one later on. At the moment, just forgive me, I'm literally tired. The file we did, so we look over here just to see if it's matching what we have been working on. So it says over here. If we look at export and master Spanish, what was the selected? Oh no. Anyway, we have test. Test Spanish English. Okay.
Are no easy things. Oh, it's a pleasure. It's easy. When every time it's easy, you lose. And one every time it's difficult. One every time you have to struggle. You have such difficulty, you win. Don't wish for things to be easy. Wish you were stronger, more efficient, braver, more courageous, more generous, more understanding, more subtle. Ease and your enemy, and diversity and your advantage. One every time you encounter a difficulty, an obstacle. Tell yourself that this obstacle is not the paraverse. It must be there when you look back. You will.
Okay, that sounds very nice, like from French. Let's look at the original content and okay, it's finished translating the tree, so we didn't know. So we did again. Okay. So let's look at the original content and let's do a judgment. Leave your notes. Give me a score into the chat. So later on I can come and check the score over there. How much would you give it as a score? Is it satisfying like as a sound? Would you watch a series like with that quality? Although it's not yet high, but it's gonna be so. And let's check Italian. Oh, before actually, my apologies, I made a mistake. I should actually show you the actual content, which is this one over here. So this is his original voice, original content.
Ça n'existe pas les choses faciles. Oh, c'est un plaisir, c'est facile. À chaque fois que c'est facile, vous perdez. Et à chaque fois que c'est difficile, à chaque fois que vous devez vous débattre vis-à-vis d'une telle ou telle difficulté, vous gagnez. Ne souhaitez pas que les choses soient faciles. Souhaitez que vous soyez plus fort, plus performant, plus brave, plus courageux, plus généreux, plus compréhensif, plus subtil. La facilité est votre ennemi. Et l'adversité est votre avantage.
This is the original content. This what's in here? Let's see. Let's see where we tested the French, the English. No, the last one too is gonna be Italian. So let's look at Spanish. Now it's maybe improved.
Menzione italiana. È un piacere, è facile. Uno ogni volta che è facile perdi, punto. E uno ogni volta che è difficile. Uno ogni volta che devi lottare. Hai tali difficoltà, vinci. Non desiderare che le cose siano facili. Vorrei che tu fossi più forte, più efficiente, più coraggioso, più generoso, più comprensivo, più sottile. Facilità è il tuo nemico e la diversità è il tuo vantaggio. Il tutto va uno ogni volta che incontri una difficoltà, un ostacolo, punto. Dì a te stesso che questo
John, assolutely punto. For me, Italian that sounds really nice actually. Italian is one of the languages I know, so sounds like really nice, perfect, suitable. Even quality, it's a bit. Now let's look at Spanish. How would he sound in Spanish?
es un placer, es fácil. Uno, cada vez que es fácil, pierdes. Y uno, cada vez que es difícil, uno cada vez que tengas que luchar. Tienes tantas dificultades que ganas. No desees que las cosas sean fáciles. Desearía que fueras más fuerte, más eficiente, más valiente, más generoso, más comprensivo, más sutil. Tranquilidad y tu enemigo. Y la diversidad y su ventaja. Uno, cada vez que encuentres una dificultad, un obstáculo, dígase a sí mismo que este obstáculo no es el paraverso. Debe estar ahí. Cuando miras
Spanish is better. But I feel that there is like a bit of a gap between the end, like those few seconds that been pushed from the front. Maybe we'll have to look at that. A small gap between the space. I'll do like a manual adjustment or perhaps a calculation. I'll be looking at that later on.
And I explain when I watch the Joker movie.
Well, this is the cool part. I think a lot of you would know this artist. He's a French artist. He doesn't speak English, but this is the first time we're gonna be hearing him in English.
And I explain when I watch the Joker.
He does speak English. Sorry, my apologies. I cannot say something, but I never heard him speaking English. This is the first time I'm hearing him, so that's what I meant.
Joker movie. And I actually thought, why did they make the Joker movie?
Let me tell you why I'm shocked like you. If you know this guy, you would know that this is literally more similar voice to him. Let me show you original content. I was picking content random just for testing, so I picked the shortest 1 minute just to view the quality of the translation, the speed, the timing, because I don't want to spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and at the end finding the result not satisfying. Use short until you reach now the original.
Et je me suis dit, en fait, pourquoi ils ont fait le film Joker? Pour te montrer qu'à la base, c'est pas un mauvais type. Mais les gens l'ont rendu méchant. T'as capté? Donc, je fais le parallèle avec les...
You heard his voice, yeah? You heard his voice. Now, let's hear the result back.
I do a lot. A lot. A lot. A lot of hierarchy. With dating. With the way of showing myself. The way of my life. What I did with that money back then. So I don't have a Balakan.
I didn't attract a second of Balakan. Everything I could have dreamed in my head. Even things that I couldn't see myself like Dursik or CQT. I did it. It starts me. I arrive at a stadium. I am reaching an age. I arrive at a stadium. There's not much left that makes me dream. So we have to start looking behind. We need to get ahead of this now. It's not just once that we're going to push the door. And I mean,
Nice. Now let's check Italian.
Faccio molto. 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 Molta gerarchia, appunto. Con gli appuntamenti. Con il modo di mostrarmi. Il modo in cui la mia vita. Cosa ho fatto allora con quei soldi? Quindi non ho un Balakan, punto.
non ho attirato un secondo di Balakan, punto. Tutto quello che avrei potuto sognare nella mia testa. Anche le cose. Come Bersic o SQT. L'ho fatto. Mi fa iniziare. Arrivo ad uno stadio.
So, like all this that you're seeing, it's like without you going and mixing things and putting part together and sitting down and like watching the video and making sure that his mouse is moving exactly with that. Like literally everything is done on your behalf, so you don't have to do so. So it's just a matter of small miscalculation which we would fix. But as the quality and everything, it sounds
Raggiungendo la maggiore età. Arrivo ad uno stadio. Non è rimasto molto che mi faccia sognare.
okay. This one we're done with it. Let's I think Spanish just to check also the quality. Make sure that all languages that we're testing we're
Mucho. 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 Mucha jerarquía. Con citas. Con la forma de mostrarme. La forma en que mi vida. Se fait avec cet argent à l'époque. Entonces no tengo Balakan.
No traje ni un segundo de Balakan. Todo lo que pude haber soñado en mi cabeza. Incluso las cosas que no podía verme haciendo. Como Bersi o SQT lo hice. Me empieza... Llego a un estadio. Llegando a una edad. Llego a un estadio. No queda...
so we finished with this one now, our last video. One more, 3 last videos. Which is this? I think we did French. I think we did French, which I have already shown. Maybe this one. Okay, let's sort them by date. Yeah, we still have this one. Let's see. Because there's 2 of them.
I do a lot. A lot.
This one that we have watched, and there is the second one, which should be this one over here. And that's why they look similar.
And I explain when I watched the Joker movie. And I actually thought, why did they make the Joker movie? To show you that he's not a bad kid over there. But people made him mean. Did you catch it? So, I draw the parallel with the homeless. It's weird, but they need us. And we are more embarrassed than... We look away. I speak. When I general people you see, they need attention. They need human warmth. They need a helping hand. And we leave them. We act as if they were non-existent. And you've seen thousands of jewels on them. Who are proprietors on them? They attract people like honey. But you chose there. And there I reach out to contact. He doesn't need you.
That's nice. As from French to English, it's nice actually. Italian?
Te lo spiego. Quando ho visto il film Joker, in realtà ho pensato perché hanno realizzato il film Joker. Per dimostrarti che non è un cattivo ragazzo laggiù, punto. L'hai preso? Quindi faccio un parallelo con i senza tetto. Strano, ma hanno... E siamo più imbarazzati di... Distogliamo lo sguardo. Io parlo. Quando parlo delle persone generali che vedi, hanno bisogno di attenzione.
That's why I told you, don't worry if you get stuff like this. You still have the project segments. I'll be showing you the structure, how they look actually into folders.
Y le explico cuando vi la película Joker. Y de hecho, pensé por qué hicieron la película Joker. Para demostrarte que allí no es un mal chico. Pero la gente lo hacía malo. Entonces hago un paralelo con las personas sin hogar. Es raro, pero nos necesitan. Y nos da más vergüenza que miramos hacia otro lado. Yo hablo. Cuando en general veo gente, necesitan atención. Necesitan calor humano. Necesitan una mano amiga. Y los dejamos.
I may get copyright from YouTube, but anyway, the purpose was actually programming. It's not actually promoting any media of any user, and I hope they do understand. So, we're not putting copyrights on content which is irrelative because we're not targeting the individual itself. Or we're not using his content, but we're using the public content which was given by him, a press interview, a radio interview. So I hope you like the video, and I'll catch up with you in a few days. Let me know in the chat how much would you score and how much would you give for each language. Which one did you like and which one did you prefer? Have a nice day.